tell us a little bit more about yourself?
I'm Lucas and I'm the chair of Carmarthenshire Youth Council.
I'm Mariana and I volunteer at the Carmarthenshire Youth Council.
I'm Fionn and I'm with the Paris Ambassadors for Youth Safeguarding.
I'm Samuel Kwan. I'm from Carmarthen Youth Council, Carmarthenshire Youth Council, sorry. And I've been part of this group for less than a year and I've been enjoying it recently.
I'm Yestin. I'm part of the Carmarthenshire Youth Council. I am currently the secretary.
So, Matt Rising, I am currently the Participation Officer for Children's Services for Paris County Council. Just joined. And in the past, used to work with young carers, unpaid young carers across Wales. And before that, I was an outdoor instructor. So there you go.
And I'm Sue Haggerty. Today is literally my first day in the job as Participation Officer for the Regional Junior Safeguarding Board, CADW. I am also an advocate for children and young people in the care system with TGP Cymru.
The guys who made this film are incredible, and you can tell there's a lot of heart in. There's a lot of experience gone into this video as well, personal experience and this kind of thing.
But there were a lot of cutting out, there were a lot of animating itself, a lot of pictures being taken.
With this animation, actually this was my first day coming to Carmarthenshire Youth Council, so I missed all that boring setting up, themes, stuff like that. I was there, I was just doing the fun bit, I was cutting stuff out, I was doing a little bit of the animation. I had a blast of a time, and that's what helped me just stay in this great community of young people just for as long as I have.
I actually really enjoyed making it. That's definitely one thing I would definitely add into it.
I wasn't part of any of the workshops that did the animating and stuff, but I was behind the concept and making the sort of plan behind the video.
The film was about safeguarding children and how the professionals should deal with the situation more properly.
The film was quite, educational and informative, and I think one thing I learned from it was that, if you're listening to somebody, it's important that you divert your full attention to listening to them, rather than some people take notes about what they're saying.
I've learned that there are different types of supports and how people deal with the supports and what people actually feel.
But if you give them their full attention, then it makes them feel like someone's listening to them and that they're going to take action about that.
You might have a few different services you're involved with, you might have a few different members of the same service you're involved with, because they pass you around a lot. So you have to keep repeating the same things, and it's constant. You get belittled, you get told that what you want doesn't matter, what you think doesn't matter, and it's belittling and it's hard.
In different environments, you will be more open to talk about how you're feeling and what you went through, rather than closed areas and places you might not feel as safe in.
If you're with this sort of service, if you're under sort of safeguarding concern, you've already been through a lot. So you don't want to keep, reliving it over and over again. You just want to move forward. You just want to start anew. You want to get over it. But that's hard when, you start with one worker and they pass you on to the next, to the next, to the next. It's a repetitive cycle that never ends. And someone just needs to go, it's enough.
And I think this film is really useful for them. It's very much about how to listen for a professional, what is good for a young person, and it's really important for young people that message gets across.
You want to be involved, you want to be informed, and you want to know what's happening with your life, because it's your life and no one else should be the captain of it.
It's really important to find out what's important to the young person and then carry that forward, I think.
It felt like I was talking to a wall when it was in this professional scenario when they're taking notes, they're just not engaging. And the video that we made as a group just showed what could be done different and how it could be done different.
It's it shows a superficial conversation going on, and then all those thoughts the young people was having about that, this isn't working, why are they asking me that again? All those things that were going on in the young person's head, and I just thought it was really powerful. I was quite touched by it.
Again, I told someone else all this yesterday. Are they really listening to me? Why are they writing so much? Am I not supposed to be saying all this? I wish they'd talk to me.
We're not listened to, we're not informed, and we're not engaged with, and I feel like it's such a huge issue, and this film sort of brought it under one umbrella and it was addressed really well, and it made me feel like powerful that, you know, this is going to be seen by the professionals, the people that have all the power, and that they're going to share that with us to give us our voices back.
It informed me a lot more about what questions I might get asked if something happened, and like what is a bad thing that they might do, and it shows me positive ways and negative ways of dealing with different things.
Yeah, and it showed me that even though I do, you know, listen to people, that there's an entirely different way you can actually listen to people that can support them just, you know, by doing simple actions.
This process is such a voiceless one because while you should be listened to and you should be informed and you should be engaged with, we're not. We're treated like second-class citizens.
I feel like a lot of the professionals need to take into account of the young person's feelings and what the correct thing should have been done, rather than just saying, oh yeah, I'll give you this advice, but they don't really work. So they don't take into account and consider the positives and negatives and all the other aspects that could impact the young person's life when they give those support.
Sometimes just for them to feel positive about themselves is to say something, you know, or what they're going through, to open up, and to have somebody listen to them about their issues or something, you know, makes them feel positive about themselves maybe.
Because a young person's voice really is so powerful because we experience so much. There's such a wide variety of things we experience because we're in the education system. Some of us are young carers, some of us are in care, some of us, you know, we come from a wide variety of different experiences, and yet we can all come together to create a video that helps everyone.
Young people are experts, you know, they're the experts in their lives and what's happening, and this video shows exactly what an expert says. You know, they're the ones to listen to, they're the ones that know how. Listen to the experts.
As Fiona said, it was powerful to know that we did that and we can make a difference with what we did.
I do think it'll make an effect on young people, especially the fact that the video will be on social media. Since a lot of young people are on social media, I feel like a lot of them would be able to see it and will be able to get tips from it.
I think it would make a big effect on young people, as many people, rather than talking to maybe an adult or a teacher or someone older than them, they would rather talk to their peers, since they might have more in common with them.
What will best help the young people? Well, this is it. This video is what will best help young people. And I feel like it's what will have the biggest impact on their lives. But also, if they see this video, they'll think, you know what, there is young people out there who, you know, are using their voices. They're making impact, they're making change, and it's helping us. And it makes them feel more powerful, and it makes them know their voices are heard.
And for older people, to know what the young people actually want when they're in a distressful situation is kind of changing, because sometimes the older people, you know, I call them older people, but they don't know what sometimes we're going through and what can help us to get out of that situation.
It's nice for them to hear that they're not alone. Other young people are feeling the same. And for me, I can take this back to my county council, my local authority. I can show this to senior managers, and it can help them understand, you know, a little bit better. It's another example for them of how young people are feeling.
Like, I really hope that this video can just get across to maybe just a few people and just be like, wait, maybe I can start doing something different. And if we just get a handful of people to start doing something different, we can start making a huge difference across all of the UK, really. But we start in Wales first, and then we work our way out.
I think it will have a really positive effect if it gets seen by the right people, and if those people, like I was, are actually touched by what it says and change their actions accordingly.
But I feel like, you know, it's individualistic. You know, you need to take a step back and you need to be like, right, what's the right thing for this young person? this young person specifically. It's not all young people, it's this young person.
They're not holding their pen this time. Maybe they do actually want to talk. I'm okay.
When leaders might not know how to talk to younger people, as they might not have as much in common, and rather than being told or having training, they might see this video and it might just help them a lot more than going through hours long of training and then not being able to help younger people open up.
We just need to start to realise and start to utilise these tools that we have already, and just know that we can make a difference with just a little bit of help. We can all make a difference.
Definitely, especially the one part where they were telling a professional in the film of what could have been done. So again, like I said before, instead of scribbling on paper and pen, they should really listen to the young person and their issues and try to solve it that way rather than just writing.
One of the things that struck me was the point about writing things down. And I always write things down because my memory's not very good. As an advocate, my job is to make sure that if the young people want me to put across their voice for them, I do that accurately. So I write everything down to make sure I've got it accurately. But actually, I really need to think about how I'm doing that and whether that is the best way to do it. And it might be best to recap at the end of the conversation and go, right, now I'm going to write it down, and do that concentrated listening further on. So it was quite, I think, useful for me in how I can do things better sort of way.
I think it's more reflective of what young people need, because at the end of the day it's their opinions and they've gone through this script writing process and it's all their ideas. So for some leader to look at that, they can think that's what the young children want, that's what young people across, Wales want.
And I feel like this video shows that, and I feel like if professionals, take that step back and see that, then that's taking a step in the right direction,
Making sure they know that they have their full attention, because once taking notes or maybe just asking the same questions over and over again, that person will probably get tired and might think that their point of view isn't being listened to.
And instead of taking notes, just taking exactly what they're saying, no matter how urgent it is, just think about what they're saying, because at the end of the day you don't want to be guessing their thoughts, you want exactly what they're telling you.
Well, small little things like you just said, it's kind of should I be using a pen and paper, should I be asking that question? Maybe they've said some of these things and not really realised maybe that's not what a young person wants, And for me, reflective listening is a really important part of, working with young people. I think this video it's all about that. So I think, hopefully, I want to put reflective training through with my organisation, so hopefully this video will help with that.
The young person in the video, you saw them sort of shrink and kind of shrink into themselves and lose confidence, and then just gradually get back again and get back to feeling their own power. And I think it's, for professionals, it's really useful to kind of think of those relationships of power and think how you're making that young person feel.
You're actually there to listen to the point of views and to listen to them.
To watch and see how they're reacting and to put yourself in their shoes and how would I feel if people were just asking me the same old things over and over again, new people all the time, and then not taking any notice of it. How would I feel?
Maybe the video can help them think about, well, there is probably going to be a higher turnover of staff a lot of the time for a long time. What other things can we do so that the young person doesn't have to repeat themselves all the time?
They did suggest that in the film, didn't they, of basically having better handovers from one member of staff to another, so it doesn't have to go through everything in great detail all over again.
I didn't know if I did like a punchy line at the end of the nonsense.
How good was that? Good job.